Good afternoon, everyone. Right, it's time for me to get my poor old aquarium and axolotls sorted and happy. Now, I have a big clean out every 6 months and then do a partial water change and tidy up every 3 months, and that works really well for them, keeps the parameters where I need them. Any more than that and you're disturbing plants and things far more often than you need to. I've got plenty of space in there. That's a 4 foot by 3 foot by 2 foot tank with 3 adult axolotls in. And as you can see, it's all a bit of a state. A lot of it to do with you, Mr. Jax. Yeah, you. So, more so than fish, axolotls can be destructive. All these plants were nicely planted. They get pulled up. Not deliberately, they're just clumsy. They are the clumsiest animals in the world. And I absolutely think well of them, but they really are fairly useless at times. So what they do is they go up for air and then they crash land when they come down. Or they see and smell food somewhere and run across the tank and take everything in their wake. I've also not had the lights on as much as I sometimes do. And that has affected some of the plants. Simply just because of sort of work hours and things. But it's something I need to make a point of. If you're going to have live plants with your axolotls, you do need to have lights on a reasonable amount. What I have done today, I went to buy some more live plants. They're having a big restock next weekend, just typical. So I have bought another artificial plant. And I have got 4 plants I bought earlier in the week at another aquarium centre. So let's start by taking about half the water out. Then I'll take the filter out. I'll turn it off, take it out, give it a really good clean. Then take everything else in the tank out. Clean all the artificial stuff. Warm water. I don't use any detergents or anything, so they're not going to be immaculate. You will still get some marks on these ones, but I'd rather not put anything into the tank that I don't need to chemical-wise. But even hot water, even some boiling water on those might do the job today. I'm going to scrub all the wood, get these furry bits off. Now this is if it was a fish tank. I could have shrimp in, I could have other types of fish in to do that job for me. I used to have plecos, and they're very good at keeping clean. Because it is with axolotls and their species only, we can't do that. So yeah, we're going to clean up all the artificial plants, take out all the live plants, pluck off any dead leaves, rearrange the tank. They have similar things in for quite a while now, so I might have a bit of a change around. Replant the plants, reposition everything, and then top up the water. And then tomorrow morning it will be a case of skimming off anything that's floated to the top. Possibly even do a partial water change again tomorrow. Top it up again. And we'll see how we're going. But for now, let's get some of that water out. There we go, making a start on the water. I have given in and got a new vac because my old one had a crack in it and it had become really hard work. And I realised that was part of why I was putting off doing the big clean outs. So there we go. I've got to say, that's the cheapest vacuum I've had in a long time. And it's working really, really effectively. It's an Aqua One vaca tank. I had a battery operated one before, and that broke pretty quickly, which I was quite annoyed about. It was quite expensive. Whereas this one, I'm actually able to place and move around, and it is getting all the sort of debris out, and it's not taking the sand, which is just brilliant. So there we go, that's a bonus. It was worth spending the extra money today to make this job a lot easier. Right, that's a good amount of water out. But what I want to do now is really sift through the sand. Bearing in mind it hasn't been disturbed for a few months, it needs a proper going through. But if I try to do that right now, I will end up damaging plants and anything else in the tank. So I'm going to take all of that out now. So that's the next step. We get in there. Right, so rest of debris to get out bottom. Now his plants in the back left are actually pretty well planted, so I might well leave them. But obviously I need to get up all the sort of skanky stuff. Bits of dead plant, bits falling off. So we'll get all that up, but it's looking pretty good. Right, that is quite a lot of debris out. And one filter bottom that needs a really, really good clean. Right, time to get the filter out, making sure that I undo everything correctly so we don't have a flood. I'm not going to lie, this is the stage I start running out of enthusiasm and energy. But there we go, got to be done. It really is easier to take apart than I think. I don't know why I get so het up about it. But there we go. I'll now put the canister into a bucket so I can transport it outside without leaking everywhere. Okay, that's the filter back up and running. Going nice and smoothly. And you can see I've put all the big items in. Quite a change around this time. I've had different hide in, but I'm going to plant plants around the front and side of. The platform, I haven't had that bit of rock in for probably about 3 years. So nice to give them something, a different texture, something different to sit on. The hoop, again, I haven't had that in for quite a while. I've made sure there's room between everything to move around. And a plant pot at the back to put some of the artificial plants in. So I'll get a bit more water in and then put everything else in. Right, I've got one new artificial plant in there. It might be a step too far, but I'll only know once I've filled it up. So you can see I've got all the live plants at the front there, and then working their way around to the back. Hey Jellybean. And these ones, these are amphibian plants, but they don't do any harm in there. And what they do is hook really nicely over that tube, just to give some sort of nice background. You can see I've got one there that I have hanging. So my last job is to wipe around the top of the tank here. You can see that's got quite dirty. And then finish filling up. Well, there we go. That is the Axolotls 6 monthly big mega clean out. I have towelled off the whole tank and the woodwork, but I can see there's a few drips coming down on that side, so I'll towel that off again. I've done the inside of the cupboard because any of this with wood, you've got to look after it. I have a laminate floor, which I will mop in a minute. I might decide come morning that big plant is too much, or possibly shift it over a little bit more. But there is plenty of room on the floor for the axolotls to move around. There's lots of lovely layers for them to come up in, which anyone who follows mine knows that they love swimming around and being up in the plants. And there's plenty of room for them to go up to it for air. That's something you do have to bear in mind. I like floating pondweed on the top, and some of these loose bits of weed I will actually detach properly and have them floating, because particularly in the summer they can help your tank stay cool. But you do have to make sure there's plenty of room for the axolotls to still get up and take a breath. So there we go. What I'm going to do now is turn the light off, leave them to morning, and hopefully everything will have sort of just calmed itself down a little bit. You might have tidied yourself up a bit. Yep. And then we'll come back in the morning and we'll have a really good look and see how things are looking. It's good night for now. What I did forget to do before I head to bed, so I've just come back down, is dose them up with prime. So I will measure out the correct amount, pop it in, and let that disperse into water. Right, I'll get that done, and we'll see what they're looking like in the morning. Well, good morning everyone. Now, isn't that looking a lot better? So, seeing it nice and clear like this in the morning, I'm really pleased with the placement of everything I've put in. We've got a nice hidey hole there into the artificial plants at the back. We've got hiding spots around the back there, as demoed by Jellybean. Lovely platform there, which I'm sure Jax will be posing on. And a really nice cave hidden away there. So yeah, really pleased with all of that. The two Anubias have unplanted themselves. So I need to rethink them, and I might even put them in a small plant pot at the back somewhere, or replant them somewhere a bit further round. All the other live plants, the Java ferns, etc. are absolutely fine. They've remained nicely planted, so that's no issue. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I'm not going to get straight in and upset those plants now. The axolotls have put up with enough for the last sort of day or so. But there we go, that is a complete tank clean out, change around, and that won't be done again for the next 6 months. In about 3 months' time, I'll take about a third of the water out, have a quick sift through the sand, and take out anything obvious that needs to come out, but it won't be a case of everything coming out and being cleaned like it was yesterday. So there you go, hope you enjoyed that. That was our axolotl tank clean up. Take care everyone, we'll see you all soon.